So it's 3-1 at half-time, but there is a mountain to climb in this second half. You know, England, Righty, didn't have Belgium didn't have a shot on target on Friday night in Bristol. What a difference Tessa Woolard makes, eh?
It is, yeah, but at the same time, they're much more aggressive. I think that they've targeted our right side, and that's Niamh Charles and Millie Bright. And if you're not going to put pressure on the ball and you're going to leave that much space behind, you're probably going to get hurt by someone like Tessa Woolard. And that's what happened. We've not been aggressive and we've not been cohesive enough in the front, and we've not been aggressive enough in our organisation at the back. But when you look at the ball here, once it gets to here, there's no pressure on the ball. Millie should be dropped off, because that's exactly what Tessa Woolard wants. Millie's gone too far. I think she's obviously afraid of that, so she's pushed up when we've pushed up to try and put pressure on the ball. It's poor pressure on the ball. And once we get into this situation, we're not going to stop her, because that's exactly what she's looking for. There it is. You can see Millie's too far forward. No pressure on the ball. And once she's come in here, this is what she's about.
The warning signs were there early, weren't they? This is in the 3rd minute, Karen.
I think we mentioned it before the show about her talent, and if you give her space in behind, she'll punish her, and she's been absolutely ruthless tonight. And you can't believe it, Friday to today, it's two same teams, and you know the outcomes in both of them. For England, I've been so frustrated with England.
Talk to us about 2-0 then, because Tessa Woolard again had her say in this. The assist was great, but the header was brilliant.
Look, I mentioned before the show about our attacking set pieces and how important set pieces are, and you know we've got to defend them better as well. Look, Van Hyver, mate, she's you know, very, very tall. She's about 6'2", but ultimately, when the ball comes to the box, Leah or Millie Bright has got to get there. You've got to be, you know, look, it's a great header, and she, you know, it was a great delivery as well. But frustrating, because I mentioned about set pieces, and usually we're pretty good at defending them, but it is a massive part of international football, and we've got to tighten up in those areas.
You know what I think as well, Kaz, when you've got somebody that big, what you want to make it seem, you want to make it difficult for them to get the header. So you get it right and close to them, so it's hard for them to get that kind of header on it, because she's very difficult to stop Van Havermite because she's so big. But the ball in was excellent.
Well, Tessa Woolard, though, she's been given a lot of time and space, and she again scored the 3rd goal. I mean, this was a good goal as well, right?
Yeah, it was a fantastic goal, Kaz.
Yeah, I think what we've struggled with is their back five. You know, this is the wide play going in, and Lucy Bronze is a little bit hesitant, doesn't get too tight, and then the wing back there, because Beth Mead's a little bit high, Lucy's gone in. You see her now, she's got a free pass, and Leah doesn't block the shot, but it's great movement from Tessa Woolard, and she's got a tap in.
Well, this is what I'm saying. For a start, Leah Williamson has to be coming to close down the space. She's left all that channel, that corridor of uncertainty for any defender. And she's left it, but the movement from Woolard on Millie Bright was exceptional, because she made 3 moves on her and then ended up behind her. But again, it should not be coming past Leah Williamson there. It's terrible. When you look at Leah Williamson going back to defend that, she doesn't close at all. So she's got time and space to put it in there, and then Woolard's movement was fantastic.
My goodness, they've been so good. And as you said, it's such a contrast from Friday night. What do you think Serena Wiegman's key message is going to be in the dressing room right now?
Wake up. You know, this is international football. How can we be so good on Friday? Literally unbelievable. And then tonight be so different. Yes, we've had players out, but it was an opportunity. But the players in the front line might be new and quite young to the squad. But the back four rather, I was mentioning the goalkeeper there, but the back four are experienced enough to try and be far better defensively than what they are, and organising the players in front of them. So, you know, even when it's difficult in front of goal, you have to have that clean sheet mentality. Otherwise, in tournament football, you'll be out, and we'll be on the plane back thinking what happened. So it's another valuable lesson, but not one that we want to be seeing.
OK, well, we did manage to claw one back, didn't we, via this penalty from Beth Mead. She won the penalty, she executed it as well, so it is 3-1 at half-time. But I think Seb said it in commentary, it's more than a mountain to climb in the second half. The question is, how will England react? We'll see you straight after this. Michelle Agyemang, take a bow. This young 19-year-old was on the pitch for 41 seconds, and just with her second touch of the game, she scored that goal there. What a debut to remember, a moment she will never forget, and a proud moment for her, her teammates and her family. Well done, girl. A proud moment. These are the scenes after the match from Belgium's perspective. Of course, plenty to celebrate, especially after the 5-0 thrashing in Bristol on Friday night as they beat England 3-2 in the end. So what does this all mean for the table? Well, Spain with a scintillating performance against Portugal, 7-1 in the end. They top the group. They're 2 points clear of England, who drop into second, and then Portugal third, Belgium in fourth, and Belgium's 3-2 victory over England is confirmed there. But then the fixtures we have to look forward to is Belgium hosting Spain next. That's on Friday the 30th of May. Belgium hoping to build on that performance tonight. And then England are at home to Portugal. That's on the same night. But I think there's only one place to start. Look, England lost out in the end, but what a debut for Michelle Agyemang. Ian Wright.
Yeah, it's unbelievable for her. I didn't expect her to actually get on tonight. I don't think she would have if we hadn't started so badly and we didn't need something. And it's almost like I wouldn't say it's a desperation throw, but we're talking about a 19-year-old coming in, not played at this level before. To see her coming on, you just hope that she can hold it up and do well to see if she can show that she's capable of playing at this level. And I don't know if I've ever seen such an impact by somebody on a football pitch in respect of international game. You know, was it 41 seconds?
41.
She's on for a second touch is the one what goes in the goal. It's great movement from her, hanging on the back of the shoulder, but that is top draw. And I'm really, really pleased for her. It's unfortunate that we lost, but you can see all she wants to worry about after scoring such a great goal for your country is getting the ball to try and get another one. But honestly, that's brilliant. It's made my night, that has, even though we've lost.
Do you know what? It has that feel, doesn't it? Even though England lost. I mean, to see her shine on the stage for the under-17s, under-19s and under-23s, but then to be given an opportunity, it's one thing coming on the pitch, it's another having that impact, Karen.
Well, you mentioned the youth age group. She scored an absolute world in the younger age group. So she's got this in abundance because she's done it before. But to do it on a senior debut, to have the composure, the touch, but also what I even liked is she went and got the balls to say, well, let's go again, because it wasn't about her. But I mean, right is right. If we could take everything else away from tonight's game and performance and just keep showing her goal, it would be the main thing for me. But brilliant. And she's got a great shout. If the injuries persist and she gets into that Brighton team consistently, which she hasn't really had this season, she could be one to get in the last minute to the squad because she's got all the talent to make something happen.
She certainly has. Great debut there from Michelle. OK, let's divide our chat now into two halves, because the first half, we know what happened. We'll rewind and talk about that in a moment. But in the second half, what was it that changed? Was it just the substitutes that made that impact? Because it felt like a very different England performance.
I thought we pushed tighter. I think that Belgium dropped off a little bit more. They were more satisfied with what they had, and I felt like they were holding on to that. I thought they still defended well. I thought Ella Toone came on and she looked quite sharp. Obviously, Michelle came on and done well as well. But I thought that we pushed further up. I thought Leah's passing at some of the time was very good into those holes where they don't want to be hurt, Belgium. But in the end, I thought they defended well enough. But we did push up further on them, close them down a lot better than we did in the first half. And it's the first half what cost us. You can't start games like that.
Yeah, because you were saying you wanted to see more pressure on the ball, more aggression on the front foot. Did we see some of that in the second half? Yeah,
and I think the subs made a difference as well. I thought they came on and they tried to get on the ball a little bit more, tried to get the control back. But as Righty said, when you're 3-0 down after 30 minutes, no matter what, who comes on, even a superstar that comes on and tries to make a difference, it's international football, it's going to be difficult. So it was definitely reaction, but as Righty said, the damage was done in the first 30 minutes, really. So that's the issue.
We'll analyse that in a moment, but let's head straight back to the ground now and hear from Leah Williamson.
Leah, a disappointing result. What was missing today?
We started too slow. They were very quick. You expect that after the result from the other day, but we needed to figure it out a little bit quicker, and we didn't. And just small tweaks, but also we didn't damage them with the ball in the first half like we did in the previous game.
Yeah, talking of the previous game, it seemed like a totally different side. What are the main areas of concern defensively?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you always have a +1. You've got to deal with players and runners better than we did today. So we'll watch it back. We'll make sure, because I don't think that should be an area of weakness for us. So we need to make sure that we improve that. But we just gave them too much space in the spaces that they wanted.
Does this feel like a major setback?
No. Disappointing, really, really disappointing. There's a lot of frustration, but we have 2 more games to go. We've just made it a lot harder for ourselves than it would have been if we picked up a win today. But I think we should be winning. We should be winning this game. That's why we're frustrated.
Why do you think the players weren't quite at it today, bearing in mind we've seen England put 5 past Belgium in Bristol?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's more to do with them and us just not jumping up as much as they did. But they came out a completely different side to the one that was in Bristol the other night. Like I say, I just don't think we adapted to it quick enough.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So frustration felt from Leah Williamson. No surprises there. You used that word as well. You were frustrated, especially after that first half. So what was it that Belgium did so well that England didn't manage to get through?
Well, I thought the game plan they attacked down their right-hand side, trying to get me, tacked down that quite well, and that was the game plan. And obviously had Tessa Woolard, and they came at us, and I thought we struggled to deal with their shape at times. I thought Leah was quite accurate then and say we didn't adapt quick enough. And there's no good coming in at half-time. The damage is already done, and we've got to adapt and learn in-game. If things aren't going quite well, just shut up shop, just come and be compact. But this is where it all started, wasn't it, Righty?
The thing is that I think that we weren't expecting this kind of Belgium, and I weren't expecting it as well. Seeing them celebrate like they did, you know what I mean? I think, how can you play that badly like 2-3 days before and then play this well? So they left a bit in the tank, but you look at the left-hand side there, Millie, for me, was far too aggressive in getting too tight. I thought there was too much time on the ball and too much space behind. With this one, with Van Havermite, she's the biggest in there. You've got to make it harder for her to jump, because if the ball's good, she's probably going to win it, and that is the problem we had with her.
And this one was just dealing, we mentioned it at half-time, the wing-backs are going on, being aggressive, you're not stopping the crosses, good movement, it's far too easy to get in. Like I said, you're 3-0 down after 30 minutes, but I have to give Righty, I'm sure maybe Belgian fans at home won't be pleased with me, but I didn't like the celebration there as if they'd won the World Cup or the Euros, and I hope the England players remember that, and if we get them in a quarter-final or any stages in the Euros, that sits in our head. That was, fair play, they won the game, but probably a little bit too much for me.
From a player who's had a very special night, Michelle, Agyemang is with Katie Shanahan.
Michelle, you scored on your England debut. How much does that mean?
It means a lot to me. I'm really grateful for the opportunities to come in and get my debut and score my first goal. Unlucky with the result, but I think the team put a lot of effort in, and on another day that's 3 points, but I'm really grateful for the opportunity.
You scored after 41 seconds from coming on. Could you have struck that any better?
I don't think so. It's a great ball from Leah, and I just thought as soon as I touched it, just hit it. And I'm really grateful that he went in, thank God. And I'm really proud of myself and happy for the team as well.
Is this one of the best moments of your career?
I think so, so far. Hopefully many more to come.
And you've certainly given the England fans a flavour of what's to come. What more is there to come from you, do you think, in an England shirt?
I think there's a lot more. I just want to go out there, put the work in, score goals, help the team win games, and that's what I'm here for.
Thank you so much. Well done.
Thank you.
I don't think you can help but smile when you hear her talk. Really, really beautiful night for her.
Brilliant
As well, yeah.
Yeah, humble, young.
Composed.
Unbelievable. She's 19 as well and just scored that amazing goal. Yeah, absolutely. Again, I'll get goosebumps, but that was just an absolute joy to listen to her there.
Showed a lot of maturity there as well.
Well, yeah, but she's got the right upbringing. Obviously at Arsenal, she's at loan at Brighton at the minute, but she knows that you have to stay ready. So as then when the chance comes, you are ready for it, and that's what she's done. And I'm really pleased she did that. I'm just pleased that she got on. I was just pleased that she got on so she can get a taste and see what. But to have that kind of impact is exactly what you need to do. Exactly what you need to do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's head back to the ground and hear from the manager herself. Here is Serena Wiegman.
Yep. Serena, what went wrong from your perspective?
I think we started really sloppy, not sharp, and they exploited us. So then you're down very quickly, and the second time they come to our goal, they score again. And so we conceded 3 goals within half an hour, which is, of course, not what you want. It's not good enough. Later on, we played better. I think we played a better second half. But yeah, overall, it wasn't good enough.
Very different game to Friday. Are these levels of inconsistency a real concern, especially as we approach the Euros?
Well, we expected this, and we were prepared for this, and we said this is going to be a total different game. And Friday was 5-0, and you know exactly what happens here. We've been here before. They missed a couple of players, and they missed Tessa Woolard. So we knew this was going to be the case. So I think that inconsistency. I think this game, it also had to do with being ready and being really focused, and that's what we didn't do. The first 30 minutes, And I think that's the biggest lesson we can learn from this altogether.
Thank you, Serena. Thank you.
Lots of lessons to be learnt, I think, from this result overall. But what was the biggest takeaway for you, Righty?
I was very disappointed with the way we started because, yes, we did beat them 5-0, but we had to expect with Tessa Willott maybe coming back, there's going to be a different energy to their team. They're at home. I would like to have seen us press better from the front. The gaps between the front and the midfield was far too wide, and then the space between the midfield and the back line was far too much space in there as well, and there's too much space behind to hit the ball into, and that is what Tessa Willott would have wanted. And I was very disappointed we didn't have any kind of game plan to quell whatever they're going to do in the first 10-15 minutes. Then we start playing ourselves. It was disappointing, but we do have players missing, and maybe that kind of disrupted us as well a bit.
They're going to have to really reflect on this and actually have a look at the performance back probably and learn a lot and take a lot from it. But as we said, we want them to be tested against the very, very best to prepare them best for the Euros.
Look, we've had a humbling today, particularly as the manager said in the first 30 minutes, and we do have to learn from that. And no matter how high we can get after winning 5-0, the next game can humble you very, very quickly, and that's happened today. So look, the second half was better. We've obviously seen a star in Agyemang, which is a massive positive for us tonight. We've seen another X Factor player and so young, and that's made our evening tonight. But overall, for the first 30 minutes, that was not great.
Have we also learnt, though, the importance of having that bench and the quality off the bench to call upon? Because those players, those substitutes, made an impact in the second half, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, and we saw this. That's what happened in the Euros for us. It was the bench that really won it for us. Obviously, you want players in the first 11 to be doing their stuff, but then if it doesn't quite happen and they're not pulling up trees, what we need them to do, then you want the bench to be able to make a difference. And seeing Michelle Agyemang come on and do that, it's looking good for the future. Like she said, hopefully she can keep doing it and she can improve and she can be a major fixture in the team.
Thank you for yours, and the Red Flames are on fire. They beat England 3-2.